In our journey through life, we often find ourselves yearning for a deeper connection, a more profound understanding of who we are and what our purpose is. This yearning is the voice of your higher self, a part of you that resides beyond the everyday noise and distractions. It's constantly trying to communicate, guiding you towards your true path. But how can we hear it clearly amidst the chaos of our daily lives? One crucial aspect of connecting with your higher self is understanding the importance of stillness and silence. In a world full of constant activity and endless chatter, finding moments of quiet can seem nearly impossible. Yet, it's in these moments of stillness that we can hear the subtle whispers of our higher self. You might ask yourself, when was the last time you truly sat in silence, free from distractions? To begin, consider integrating a daily practice of meditation or mindfulness into your routine. This practice doesn't have to be long or complicated. It can start with just a few minutes each day, sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. The goal is to create a space where your mind can settle and your inner voice can emerge. Many people find that over time, this practice not only helps them hear their higher self more clearly, but also brings a sense of peace and clarity to their everyday life. Another important lesson in hearing your higher self is learning to trust your intuition. Your intuition is a direct line to your higher self, often manifesting as a gut feeling or a spontaneous insight. How often do we ignore these feelings, dismissing them as irrational or unimportant? Yet these intuitive nudges are your higher self's way of guiding you towards your true path. The next time you have a strong feeling about something, take a moment to listen to it and explore what it might be telling you. We also need to address the role of self-awareness in this process. Self-awareness is about understanding your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and recognizing how they influence your life. By becoming more aware of your inner world, you can begin to identify patterns and habits that may be blocking your connection to your higher self. This might involve journaling, therapy, or simply taking time each day to reflect on your experiences and feelings. In addition, it's essential to surround yourself with positive influences. The people and environments we engage with daily can either support or hinder our connection to our higher self. Are there relationships or situations in your life that drain your energy or bring negativity? It might be time to reevaluate these connections and seek out those that uplift and inspire you instead. Surrounding yourself with positive energy can create a more conducive environment for hearing your higher self.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Lastly, consider the importance of patience and persistence. Connecting with your higher self is not something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process that requires consistent effort and a willingness to be open and receptive. There will be times when you feel disconnected or uncertain, and that's okay. Trust that with time and practice, you will strengthen this connection and learn to hear your higher self more clearly. As we conclude this first part, I invite you to reflect on these insights and consider how you might begin to integrate them into your life. How can you create more stillness and silence in your daily routine? How can you learn to trust your intuition more deeply? What steps can you take to increase your self-awareness and surround yourself with positive influences? Connecting through conscious presence. In the pursuit of hearing your higher self, one of the most profound lessons is the necessity of conscious presence. Conscious presence means being fully engaged in the present moment, with all your attention and awareness focused on the here and now. It is through this state of presence that we can bridge the gap between our everyday self and our higher self. Being present is not as simple as it sounds. Our minds are often preoccupied with thoughts of the past or worries about the future, making it challenging to remain grounded in the present moment. This mental chatter can create a barrier that obscures the subtle messages from our higher self. Have you ever noticed how often your mind drifts away from the present moment? What might you be missing in those moments of distraction? To cultivate conscious presence, it can be helpful to practice mindfulness in your daily activities. Whether you're eating, walking, or even washing dishes, try to engage fully in the activity at hand. Pay attention to the sensations, sights, sounds, and smells around you. By doing so, you are training your mind to focus on the present moment, which can create an opening for your higher self to communicate. Another effective method is to regularly check in with your body. Our bodies are constantly giving us signals about our state of being, but we often ignore them. By tuning into these physical sensations, we can gain insights into our emotional and mental states. For instance, tension in your shoulders might indicate stress or worry, while a relaxed body might signify peace and contentment. What is your body telling you right now? Breathwork is also a powerful tool for achieving conscious presence. When we focus on our breath, we anchor ourselves in the present moment. Try taking deep, slow breaths, paying attention to the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. This simple practice can help quiet the mind and create a space for your higher self to be heard. How does your breath feel right now? Is it shallow or deep, fast or slow? It's important to recognize the role of acceptance in conscious presence. Acceptance means embracing the present moment as it is, without judgment or resistance. Often we resist the present moment because it doesn't align with our expectations or desires. However, this resistance can create tension and block our connection to our higher self. By accepting whatever arises in the present moment, we allow ourselves to move with the flow of life, rather than against it. Can you accept this moment exactly as it is, without wanting it to be different? In addition, consider the impact of your thoughts and beliefs on your ability to be present. Negative or limiting beliefs can cloud your perception and hinder your connection to your higher self. It is crucial to become aware of these mental patterns and work towards transforming them. This might involve challenging your negative thoughts and replacing them with more empowering ones. What limiting beliefs might be holding you back from being fully present? Engaging in creative activities can also enhance your ability to be present. Creativity often requires us to be fully immersed in the moment, whether we are painting, writing, dancing, or playing music. These activities can serve as a bridge to our higher self, allowing us to express our true essence and receive insights. When was the last time you allowed yourself to be creative, without any expectations or judgments? As we near the end of this part, let us contemplate how we can bring more conscious presence into our lives. How can you practice mindfulness in your daily activities? How can you better tune into your body and breath? What steps can you take to transform negative thoughts and beliefs? By embracing conscious presence, we open the door to a deeper connection with our higher self, allowing its wisdom and guidance to flow into our lives more freely, listening through emotional intelligence. In our quest to hear our higher self, emotional intelligence plays a pivotal role. Emotions are not just fleeting feelings. They are profound messages from our inner world, often carrying the wisdom of our higher self. By developing emotional intelligence, we can better understand and interpret these messages, leading to a deeper connection with our true self. Emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness, which involves recognizing and understanding our own emotions. Many of us go through life on autopilot, reacting to situations without fully understanding the underlying emotions driving our actions. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what you're truly feeling at this moment? This simple act of checking in with your emotions can be incredibly revealing. Once we become aware of our emotions, the next step is to understand their source and significance. Emotions are often triggered by our thoughts, beliefs, and past experiences. By examining these triggers, we can uncover deeper insights into our emotional patterns and how they relate to our higher self. For instance, recurring feelings of anxiety might be a signal that something in your life needs to change. What emotions do you frequently experience, and what might they be trying to tell you? Another crucial aspect of emotional intelligence is the ability to manage and regulate our emotions. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring them, but rather acknowledging them and responding in a healthy, constructive manner. When we learn to manage our emotions, we create a stable inner environment where our higher self can communicate more clearly. Consider a time when you felt overwhelmed by emotion. How did you handle it? And what might you do differently next time to better manage that emotion? Empathy, or the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is also a key component of emotional intelligence. By cultivating empathy, we can deepen our connections with others and, in turn, with our higher self. When we truly listen to and understand others, we open our hearts and minds, creating a space for deeper wisdom to emerge. Think about a recent interaction you had with someone. How well did you understand their emotions, and how might greater empathy have changed that interaction? It's also important to consider the role of emotional expression. Often, we hold back our true feelings out of fear of judgment or rejection. However, expressing our emotions authentically is a powerful way to connect with our higher self. When we allow ourselves to feel and express our emotions fully, we release pent-up energy and open the channels for clearer communication with our inner wisdom. In what ways can you express your emotions more openly and honestly? Another profound aspect of emotional intelligence is the ability to find balance. Life is filled with highs and lows, and our emotions can fluctuate wildly in response to these external events. By striving for emotional balance, we can maintain a steady connection to our higher self, regardless of the circumstances. This might involve practices such as mindfulness, meditation, or simply taking time to rest and recharge. How do you find balance in your emotional life, and what practices might help you achieve greater stability? Finally, emotional intelligence involves the capacity for self-compassion. Often, we are our own harshest critics, judging ourselves harshly for our perceived flaws and failures. However, self-compassion allows us to accept ourselves as we are, with all our imperfections. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we create a nurturing environment where our higher self can flourish. How can you practice greater self-compassion in your daily life? As we conclude this part, reflect on the role of emotional intelligence in your own journey. How can you become more aware of your emotions and their sources? How can you better manage and express your emotions? What steps can you take to cultivate empathy, balance, and self-compassion? By developing emotional intelligence, we can deepen our connection with our higher self and unlock the profound wisdom that resides within us, embracing authenticity and inner wisdom. As we delve deeper into our practice of connecting with our higher self, the final and perhaps most transformative lesson is the embrace of authenticity and inner wisdom. Authenticity means living in alignment with our true self, free from the masks and roles imposed upon us by society and our own conditioning. When we live authentically, we create a direct pathway to our higher self, allowing its guidance and wisdom to flow freely. To begin embracing authenticity, it's essential to explore and understand your core values and beliefs. These are the fundamental principles that define who you are and what you stand for. Take a moment to reflect on what values are most important to you. Are your daily actions and decisions aligned with these values? When we stray from our core values, we create internal conflict that can obscure our connection to our higher self. By realigning our lives with our true values, we can live more authentically and hear our inner wisdom more clearly. Another crucial aspect of authenticity is the courage to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is a profound strength. It allows us to be open and honest about our true selves, including our fears, desires, and imperfections. When we embrace vulnerability, we drop the facade and connect more deeply with our higher self. Consider a time when you felt truly vulnerable. How did that experience affect your sense of self and your connection to others? Living authentically also means letting go of the need for external validation. Many of us seek approval and acceptance from others, often at the expense of our own truth. However, true fulfillment comes from within, from living in alignment with our higher self. This requires a shift from seeking external validation to cultivating self-approval and inner confidence. How often do you look to others for validation, and what steps can you take to find that approval within yourself? It's also important to recognize and honor your unique gifts and talents. Each of us has something special to offer the world, and our higher self often communicates through these unique abilities. By embracing and developing your talents, you can live more authentically and contribute to the world in meaningful ways. What are your unique gifts, and how can you bring them more fully into your life? In addition, embracing authenticity involves being truthful in our relationships. This means communicating openly and honestly with those around us, expressing our true thoughts and feelings, and setting healthy boundaries. By being authentic in our relationships, we create deeper connections and allow our higher self to guide our interactions. Reflect on your current relationships. Are there areas where you are not being completely truthful or authentic? How might you change that? Another profound element of authenticity is the practice of self-acceptance. This means embracing all aspects of yourself, including your flaws and mistakes. Self-acceptance allows us to integrate all parts of ourselves, creating wholeness and harmony within. When we accept ourselves fully, we create a fertile ground for our higher self to flourish. How can you practice greater self-acceptance in your daily life? Finally, authenticity requires a commitment to continuous growth and self-discovery. Our higher self is always guiding us towards our highest potential, and this journey often involves stepping out of our comfort zones and embracing new challenges. By committing to personal growth, we honor the wisdom of our higher self and create a life that is rich with meaning and purpose. What steps can you take to foster continuous growth and self-discovery in your life? As we conclude this final part, take a moment to reflect on the journey we've explored together. How can you live more authentically and align your life with your true values? How can you embrace vulnerability, let go of external validation, and cultivate self-approval? What steps can you take to honor your unique gifts, be truthful in your relationships, and practice self-acceptance? By embracing authenticity and inner wisdom, we open the door to a profound connection with our higher self, allowing its guidance and insight to lead us towards a life of true fulfillment and purpose.